Time now for this week's Fast Break segment presented by BCAM, the Basketball Coaches Association of Michigan. We welcome in the Executive Director of BCAM, Dan Young, and our own Digital Managing Editor, Matt Mowery, for this week's show. Now, we are airing this segment on both Hangtime Michigan and the Winter Roundup because it pertains to both girls and boys basketball. In fact, we had a whole nother topic we were going to do. We scrapped it. The girls basketball district pairings were announced recently, and let's just say it raised a few eyebrows, all right? We all knew there was going to be some semblance of seeding and that there was the new NPR or Michigan Power Rating into this. Coaches and fans aren't necessarily happy about it because in some cases, for example, a 1 seed playing 3 games in a district in some places. Matt, lay it out for us. Lay out what the issue is. Dan, you speak on behalf of BCAM and how you are working with the MHSAA on this, and then I will say what the MHSAA has said to coaches and others.
Well, I think what the primary issue they were trying to get away from was having the best matchups in districts come early in districts on either Monday or Wednesday. Ideally, they wanted the best matchups to come on Friday in the district finals when you have the most eyes on that game, which is laudable. I think also what the proponents of seeding wanted was some way to have those matchups come as late as possible in the tournament, and they wanted an overall seeding. That's not what we got. What we ended up with is a system where the number 1 and number 2 seeds in each individual district are identified by NPR, and those two are split apart, and then the rest ends up being a random draw alphabetically to fill out the district bracket. What the complaints were primarily were that those seeded teams were then exempt from getting byes in the first round. So you do, like you said, have them playing Monday and Wednesday and Friday. So you have more games as the number 1 seed, which intuitively seems a little backwards. Seems like the number 1 and 2 seed should get the byes. They do not. The other problem, obviously, was that the seeding did not continue throughout the district, and in some cases, a lot of them wanted that seeding throughout the tournament, and were disappointed that this seems to be a halfway measure.
Yes. Dan, you guys have been working on this for a long time, trying to coax the MHSA into, a regional seating structure. I think that's ideally what we want to see here. What are your thoughts? Because I know that in some cases, BCAM is being kind of thought as the architect of this.
Well, we're in the middle of it. We want to be in the middle of it because we want to do what's best for the tournament and for the kids in the schools. But it's going to take some time. And basically, after this first year, we're going to take our notes, listen to our coaches, which we are, and go back to the basketball committees, and then go back to the rep council with our recommendations. So this was anticipated because it was not a fully seeded district or region like we've talked about, but it's a start, and that's a good thing because we're here talking about it. It's not perfect, we all know that, but it's going to get better, and we're going to work to make it better.
Okay, so here is what the MHSAA has said in response to the big hullabaloo that's out there right now. When our representative council passed this system, they had 2 goals. Number 1, identify the 2 best teams using a computer formula. And number 2, make sure those 2 teams are on opposite sides of the draw so they could not meet until the district finals. They weren't interested at the time in a true seeding system. The council did not want seeded teams to have the added benefit of automatic byes and home games. The council felt teams should get those only by random draw, just like in past years. Matt, you say what to that?
Well, and I think the response to that is that an incomplete system is not necessarily a better system. I think people are disappointed with the incompleteness, and there also are some questions about the formula, about whether or not it does actually identify. I think looking at NPR over the year, it has worked, but I think where it doesn't take into account is head-to-head results. It doesn't take into account, it doesn't weight wins or losses. Not all 10-win teams are created equal. And it doesn't do anything for smaller schools that schedule bigger schools. There's no weighting system to it. I think those are the biggest complaints.
It's a start towards future making it better.
Absolutely.
And so that's what we're behind. is being positive, of that it is a start, and we're gonna regroup, and we're gonna put our heads together and put together proposals that we feel, the coaches feel, is the best way to do it.
Yep, and the MHSA is open to that. They want to continue this discussion. Boys basketball district pairings are this weekend, so we were just giving you guys a heads up so you don't freak out. It's not a perfect system for sure. Dan Young and BCAM will continue to work with the MHSAA on making it better. There will be an evaluation once the season is over. We'll see how it goes, right? Stay tuned.